Alright, so hello and welcome to this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is go to airlineenterprise.com to go create this, your airline. The first thing I want to press is create your airline. So you can go create, M&R geography, and with basically the email communications opt-in, that basically means they'll send you emails. Like, let's say you bid on a plane in an auction, they'll send you an email if you won the bid. If you have a gate in, like, let's say Rome, and it expires, then you will lose that gate, and they'll tell you that. So yeah, it's good. It'll tell you email notifications. Now you got to enter your time zone, and if you're daylight savings, and you enter your age. Yes, so now it says that you could log in now, but you have to activate your account before you're able to create your airline. So you should go to your email, and there should be right here. You can activate your account. So username, password, log in. So our airline will be M&R Geography Air. M&R Geography Airlines. And IATA code is basically what you have before your flight number. Like American Airlines, they have AA before their flight number. Like if they're flight 1, be AA1. Flight 2 would be AA2. So for us, let's do MNR. You can do whatever you want. The call sign is basically what the captain will say to you, so then they'll know it's your airline. Let's do geography. So our home base, where should we be? Say a good place. What if we were to be based? We could be like a Caribbean airline. So we're based in, what about Cuba? That'd be cool. And should do Santiago de Cuba. It's a pretty big city in the south. And then SCU, Naval Air Base Airport. So your starting funds. So this is to see how much loans that you want. So you could choose to have $20 million at 6% interest. You either have $50 million at a 15% interest, or have $80 million at a 24% interest. So if you choose a $20 million, it'll be easier to pay off your loans because there isn't as much interest. But you won't be able to have as many planes to earn the money to pay off your loans. If you do $50 million, then there's a little bit more interest, and but you have more money to go do it. And if you do 80 million, just more. I would personally recommend 80 million because you're gonna probably need a lot of planes to go start earning positive income. So 80 million. So the first thing you should do is click on Manage Airline, and then you can go see your airline. We're M&R Geography Airlines. Alrighty, 1623. We're in Santiago de Cuba. Our RTA code's M&R and the call sign Geography. CEO M&R Geography, and we currently have no flights. But yeah, and we can't have any flights currently because we have no planes. So to get planes, you'd go to Manage Airline, and then Fleet. Then in Fleet, there are all these window tabs. The first is Fleet Overview. If you click on that, it'll basically show you all the planes that you have. We currently do not own any or lease any planes, so we don't have any. So if you want to get an aircraft, you can go to Purchase Aircraft. So let's say we want to get an Airbus. All of these are super expensive, and we won't be able to afford any of them. So the next thing that we could do is go Fleet Lease Aircraft. So we can go lease an aircraft. Let's say you want to get an Airbus. And so this says that our credit rating is CCC+. So we can have we can lease up to $2,500,000 a month for leases. So we can get an Airbus. Yeah, this Airbus A350 looks pretty good because it can fly 11,000 miles. Yeah, it's a lot for a plane. We can fly across the world. So so I think it's a plane that can fly the furthest in this. So let's configure, and so here it'll basically configure your Airbus A350-900 ULR order. So the order quantity, we need 1. Lease term, we'd want it for more. So let's do 6 months. We'll keep it for 6 months. And because it's 6 months, the plane that's leasing, the Airbus, they're basically giving us a discount because they know that we're going to do more. So we save $24,743.21. Then let's have it be delivered in Santiago de Cuba. And then the cabin configuration, that basically is like the seats, how they're laid out. Like if you have fancy seats, if you have screens, if you have Wi-Fi or not, if you have an aircraft bar. So let's add a cabin configuration. So we don't want an Aerostibali Bach Concorde. We want an Airbus A350-900 ULR. So basic seat, regular seat, or premium seat. So if you choose a basic seat, it's basically one slot. Yeah, so like all these planes have a certain amount of slots, which are basically seats. They're basically seats. So the basic seats, they take up one slot, and they're $5,000 each. If you have regular seats, they got 1.2 slots, and they're $10,000 each. And the premium seats, they're 1.5 slots and $15,000 each. So let's go with the regular seat, and we want headphones, outlets, and Bluetooth. Because, the better the seat, the more people want to fly your airline, because it'll increase your reputation and amenities. And we can give them screens, medium, good. And let's give them new release movies. We do that for everything. Yeah, and and for premium economy, that they take up 2 slots for a regular seat. Yeah, you could do whatever you want, but I personally would recommend regular seat because it's like a good cost. It isn't really costly, but people also like your airline, like doing medium everything, but also giving them like good entertainment and stuff. So that I would recommend. So once you finish assigning this configuration, now you can see if you want Wi-Fi equipped. So people will go pay for your Wi-Fi, and this is $250,000. So you can pay $250,000. It might make that much over time, and also people will be happy because of your Wi-Fi. So if you do this, and the aircraft bar is $500,000 and 40 slots. I personally would not recommend doing the aircraft bar because it's like very costly, and you won't make any money off of it. It'll just increase your reputation. So I think if you're like I think maybe if you're a bigger airline, then maybe you could do the aircraft bar. Or if you have like a giant aircraft. Our aircraft's pretty big, but like, I wouldn't really see the point in doing it because it already costs a lot of money already. And so we can name the configuration Airbus. Yes, this will be for all Airbus A350 9500 ULR. And if we save the configuration, it's there. So now we got to finalize it. So we have 440 slots are in an A350-9500 ULR. So we can choose how many economy class seats, premium and economy, business class, and first class. I would recommend working from the bottom up because the first class requires more slots than there. Because if you do a lot of economy class seats, you won't really know how much. So let's say we want 12 first class seats, 24 business class seats, 48 premium economy seats, and then we could have 72. But we can have more slots. So let's do 16, 32. Yeah, and now we got one more slot. So let's do 73. We have 0.4. We can't really do anything with that 0.4 slot. So now the IFE system, that's basically the screen and entertainment system. If you do not choose the entertainment, then you can't charge. But so I normally charge $8 for it. Choose how much money you want to spend. And because it's the same for all classes, you might as well choose the same. And for the Wi-Fi, you can charge however much you want for the Wi-Fi per person. So I would go to $12 for the Wi-Fi. You can confirm and save. And it saves successfully. You can now assign this configuration to your aircraft. So when you go back to your other tab, the order, the configuration won't appear. You'll just have to reload once. Now you have this system. It'll cost you $6 million to do it, but you need that to fly. So then when you press confirm lease, you now have this plane. It is an Airbus. It's an Airbus A350-900 ULR. It's in Santiago de Cuba. So first, this is our aircraft. So it basically tells us our weekly lease, how much I have to pay each week. $342,152.50. This is how much insurance it is per flight, how much maintenance. And because it's new, it can tell us how much miles, how many cycles, depending on how many routes it flies, and how many hours it's been flying for. And you can go look at the flight history, but we haven't done any flights. So you can go change your registration. So we can go call this Airbus. And let's call this the MNR Geography plane 1. There you have this. So now you have the turnaround options. So there's this, so basically the turn time is that once it gets back on the ground after a flight, it's how much time it'll be there for it to clean up the aircraft and like prepare for the next flight. So so that'll go increase your reputation, but you can't fly as many routes just like immediately. So the additional turn time, I would recommend doing like 10 minutes extra, and then I'll ensure like the plane is clean and everything. And now if you want to go, like let's say your lease is like expiring like later, you can go renew your lease. Like let's say I want to go add 6 more months. I go for 6 more months, and if I were to click renew lease, then that increased by 6 months. So how to go save all this? Like now it's called Airbus, and I'm gonna geography plane 1. So I'll go press confirm changes, and I've modified the aircraft. So if I go back to my fleet overview, it would be there. Airbus. Now it's here in Santiago de Cuba. Now because there's no routes, this is how we create a route. So you go to manage airline, route, and route management. So yeah, we don't have any routes configured. So the first thing you have to do is press create a route. So first you gotta do your departure airport. So we're doing Santiago de Cuba, which is SCU. And next, it depends where we want to go. And before you know where you want to go, I would recommend researching that route before you do it. So I would go open another tab and go see in research aircraft to go see our Airbus plane and see how long it can and see how far it can fly for. So this is our Airbus A350-900 ULR, and it has a range of 11,163 miles. So with 11,163, then I would go to Research Distance Calculator, which will basically tell you all airports within 11,063 miles from Santiago de Cuba. So now you have to press Calculate, and now it'll show you all the airports within that distance. And now we have all these. So the Frank Pais Airport, these are all very close, like 64 miles. The ones we want is at the bottom of the list. And these are the farthest few airports. Like this one, even though it's the farthest, the Isang Kedar Airport in Pangkalanbun in Indonesia, this airport is really not that big, and not many people fly out of it. So you won't really get that many passengers if we choose an airport that isn't that big. Same thing for Calgary Boulder and Labuan Bajo and Albany. You can fly to Singapore. This Singapore airport gets a lot of passengers. 55,448, 964 passengers. So if you want to go see if it's a good route, you can go press research. Santiago de Cuba to Singapore. And now this will tell us. So 10,963 miles, and you fly basically over the pole like that. And it says there are 0 weekly flights, which is good because there's no competition. If you find another route that has more than 0 weekly flights, like even if it's 1, it's probably an experienced airline. You won't that's known to the world, and your airline. Not that many people know. So I recommend only creating routes and that are 0 weekly flights and 0 weekly passengers. So this route to Singapore looks pretty good. It says we'll make $78,233.53, and that's only if we transport 18 passengers. Our plane can go hold like a lot more passengers, so we're probably going to earn a lot more money on this. So now, manage airline, you go gates. So if you go to gate management, that'll basically tell you the gates that you own that you can fly, because you can't fly to Singapore if you don't own a gate there. So fleet, so you go to gates and then lease gates. So then the airport one is SIN for Singapore. Let's continue. So we only need 1 gate for Singapore because we're only going to fly there once a day. If you're going to have 2 flights to Singapore each day, then you're going to need 2 gates. So we only need 1. Now you have to choose the gate type. So there's a dedicated gate. It basically gives you 10 slots, so you can have up to 10 planes flying there. It's like a better deal if you're gonna have like lots of gates. Like in your home city, like in your hub, you don't need a shared gate. You'd want a dedicated gate because because you're gonna have lots of flights there. But if it's just like a city where you fly there once a week, I would recommend doing dedicated. Shared is just one slot that you could do. So if you have one plane at a time, you go to that. If you want 2 planes at a time, you just do 2. And if you want 3, you can do 3 or other stuff. But for now, we only do 1. And the lease term is how long you're going to want that gate. Like, this isn't like a one-time flight. So we can do 3 months. Now, confirm lease. So now we have a gate at the Singapore airport. It'll cost us $31,000 a month. And so now we can go actually create the route. So here, SCU to SIN, which is Singapore. And then we want to go back to SCU. So this will depart at, you can choose a good time to depart. And this is in Cuba's time or whatever, or wherever you have local time is. This is not in your home time. So I would recommend doing it like at 8 or 9. Well, I'll do 8:20. And because this is like a super long flight, we can't do this every day. Okay, so now the route is created. Now we gotta go assign an aircraft. If we only have one, we should do that. And now there's this IFS. You can go create it later. I'll talk about this later in the video. And if you want to go choose a flight number, like if I want this flight to be flight 1, I want this to be flight 2, I can do that. And but if you want to just be random, you can just go keep it off there and it'll go assign a random flight number for you. So this says it'll depart at 8:20 and it'll go arrive in Singapore at 16:25. And then this will depart at 17:50 and it'll arrive at 3:20. So you can go save the route and you can give it a name. So let's call this Singapore Monday, because our Monday flight to Singapore. And this will arrive back on Wednesday at 3:20 in the morning. So now we got to go create another route for Wednesday, otherwise this plan is unused. We have all flights that are on 8:30 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and this cannot be Thursdays. It has to be Fridays now. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have routes to Singapore. It's good for the first route, but nobody will fly on these routes currently because you have not advertised them. So first thing you want to do is go to marketing, and don't click on route marketing yet. You gotta go click on marketing. So these are the different ways how you'll advertise. I do not recommend doing billboards. Like, that's only if you have like very little money and want to create a new route. But I recommend just doing social media because it only costs $3 million a week, and it'll go quickly advertise your flights, and then you don't need to go use it anymore. So I recommend saving your marketing campaigns for social media. And so but still your routes won't fly because you aren't specifically advertising for those routes. You gotta go to marketing, then this time you click on route marketing. So first, you gotta click on Singapore. If you want your boost effect, I would recommend doing 400,000 to get the best boost effect for the least amount of money. So that'll advertise your flights really quickly. So you're gonna start earning money just like that, and and you're going to start becoming like a successful airline. Now, there are other ways to buy planes too. So there is the used aircraft market. Other airlines, if they have an aircraft they don't want to use anymore, there's basically, you can buy airlines at a cheaper price. You also lease airlines. You also lease aircrafts too. But they're at a cheaper price. So normally, a Boeing 707 would cost a lot of money, but now you can buy it for $2 million, which is a great deal. Like if you were to get a new one, it would be like $90 million. And so this is a great deal. So if we want to get this plane, we can go press purchase. I'm not going to do it for the sake of this video, but there's also used aircraft auctions too. There are auctions for your videos too. So I don't know, Lagoon Air is like, there are all these Tupolevs for sale by Lagoon Air, and there is a Beechcraft for sale. So let's try bidding 1 million. And the bid is placed, and you are the highest bidder. So as long as nobody else bids higher than us, we will go earn that Beechcraft. You'll go get that Beechcraft in 5 days and 19 hours. So yeah, there's a little bit more, because remember the IFS that I showed you earlier? You got to go do that to go increase your reputation. So you would want to go to routes and then service configurations. So you can go create new configuration. So because our flights are 20 hours, we can do 15 plus hours. Singapore. So meal count. So if it's 15 plus hours, they would probably want breakfast, lunch, and dinner because it's 3 meals. Then you can choose what meal. So you do a gourmet 3-course meal served on Chinaware. So now if you want this to be assigned to your Singapore flights, you will press this, assign to all flights that are 15 hours or more. And the Singapore flights, they're 20 hours. So this should work. And now it's there. And now if you want to go see our routes, you can go see. And now we have that configuration. Our IFS is Singapore. People will be happier. And now our flights are scheduled. Now, we currently are losing money, but eventually more people will go book our flights. Like, see, this flight is booked. This flight is scheduled to depart in 40 hours. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of time for more people to book our flights. And then we're going to eventually start earning money, just like that. So that was our video for today. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.